Hi, I'm Mike from 1A Auto. We've been selling auto parts for over 30 years. We're dedicated to delivering quality auto parts, expert customer service, fast and free shipping, all backed by our 100% satisfaction guarantee. So visit us at 1aauto.com, your trusted source for quality auto parts.
So in order to start this project, we're going to go ahead and loosen the wheel, the lug nuts here. We're going to use a breaker bar with a 19mm socket. So next we're going to go ahead and raise and support your vehicle. You can use a jack and jack stands. In this case here, we're using a lift to make it a little bit easier. We'll just go ahead and remove the lug nuts here, just by using that socket, because we've already loosened those. With the lug nuts removed, we can now go ahead and remove the wheel and tire. All right, we're going to go ahead and replace this inner tie rod end here. We first have to start by loosening this jam nut. Now the jam nut can vary on size depending on your application. That's why we're choosing to use an adjustable wrench right here. We just want to loosen that. We don't want to crank it out so many threads, but just loosen that. All right, next step here is we have to remove the cotter pin right here that goes through the castle nut. So we're going to start by getting some pliers in here. Pull that cotter pin right out. Next is use your 13/16 and loosen that. Okay, I usually keep the castle nut on just a few threads at this point. And you could try one of two methods. You can use a pickle fork to get between here and the center link and try and pop that off. Or in your driveway, use a hammer and you want to strike the end here. So we're going to go ahead and try putting the pickle fork in here. So in this case here, that didn't actually work, trying to use a pickle fork to remove this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to twist in on the castle nut just so that the castle nut is flush with the top of the ball joint end here on the inner tie rod. We're going to try and hit this here and push this out. All right, so we've tried the pickle fork, didn't work. We tried leveling off the nut and hitting this with the hammer, because obviously this whole component is going to be replaced. In this case here, it looks like we're going to try some heat. Always be aware of your surroundings when using a torch. You want to make sure that you have a fire extinguisher or something to extinguish the fire in case one should erupt. All right, we're going to try hitting this with the hammer. And there we go. We took advantage of this torn boot and took some locking pliers here, put it right inside, and we crimped down right on that. And we're finally able to get this nut to come off. All right, now that this is free, go ahead and pull it out of the way. Now, in order to keep your base preliminary alignment, this here, the inner tie rod end, needs to thread in the same amount. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our new part, okay, and we're going to unthread this here. We're going to count the amount of times that this threads out in a full revolution. That way there on the reassembly, we'll be able to get the same amount of count going in. All right, 26 full revolutions, okay. We're gonna go ahead and unthread this here. Here we have the old part. Here we have the new part from 1A Auto. Looks identical and identical installation. So now we want to go ahead and take our jam nut. We want to get this threaded on. Now for the installation into the adjuster sleeve. All right. We're going to go ahead and count the same amount of turns in, and then we'll go ahead and lock up the adjuster nut. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring this adjuster nut in. We're not gonna lock that yet. We just wanna snug it a little bit. Bring this around. Obviously remove the castle nut. Now you wanna pay attention to this here on the installation because you have a hole right here for your cotter pin to go back into to anchor the castle nut. All right, so we're gonna spin this around. Get that lined up. Okay, so on this nut, this is actually a 3/4 inch. It may vary depending on the application of vehicle. All right, so we'll go ahead and tighten this. And we want to line up one of the grooves in the castle nut with the hole in the joint. And then we're going to go ahead and install the cotter pin. And we'll go ahead and bend that over. And this will pretty much lock that cotter pin. I'll lock the castle nut from coming back out. So just go ahead and bend this over here. And your final step is to go ahead and tighten up the adjuster sleeve anchoring nut. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and reinstall the tire. I'm gonna go ahead and reinstall the lug nuts here. You wanna get a few threads caught on all of these here. These lug nuts are a 19 millimeter. So we're just gonna snug these, bottom it out, bottom the wheel out to the rotor. We're gonna lower the vehicle down onto its own weight and then do a final torque. With the vehicle on the ground, we're gonna do its final torque of the wheel, which is between 83 and 112 foot-pounds. We're gonna do it in a star pattern. All right, just double check the first one. She's all set.
Thanks for watching. Visit us at 1aauto.com for quality auto parts, fast and free shipping, and the best customer service in the industry.